Do you have lymphedema and find yourself off balance? Well, I want you to know you are not alone. Research suggests that patients with lymphedema of the lower extremities as well as the upper extremities have balance deficits that can be addressed with physical therapy. My name is Lisa Sylvestri. I'm a physical therapist and a certified lymphedema therapist, and my goal is to make us all lymph smart. So let's talk about what the research is actually looking at. Two things were looked at in the research studies below: static balance and dynamic balance. Static balance is how well we can balance when we are in a non-moving position. So when we're standing still, our body normally responds with a little bit of sway coming from our lower body in order to keep us balanced and keep us upright. Dynamic balance is how our body responds to insults or bumps when we are on the move. So when we're walking. Now, the research below shows that the longer lymphedema was present, the worse both static and dynamic balance got. So why is that? Well, obviously, when we're talking about lymphedema of the lower extremities, one limb is always going to be bigger than the other. Even if two limbs are involved, it's not common for both limbs to be the same size. So the few things that affect this are obviously the weight and size of the limb, but the longer that the lymphedema is present, it's more likely that there are going to be flexibility issues, there are going to be strength issues, and other issues that cause the body to not be able to sway properly or catch ourselves properly. This was particularly found when patients closed their eyes and attempted to balance. This is because without the visual feedback, it was much harder for patients to know where their body is in space. We call this proprioception. One of the thoughts behind that is that perhaps with more swelling in the feet, there is less pressure being felt with our proprioceptive receptors in our feet. So little receptors that tell our body where we are and how to react in order to keep our balance. While most of us don't walk around with our eyes closed, it is common for this to mimic low light situations when you get up in the middle of the night and you have to get to the restroom, things like that, where our visual feedback is a little bit more challenged. What's also interesting is that a second study showed similar results in patients with upper extremity lymphedema. And one of the thoughts behind that is if one side is again heavier than the other, it's going to affect our posture, perhaps the way we stand or hold ourselves. And that will also affect how we can respond to outside stimuli when we're bumped and how we can sway and correct ourselves. The third study shown below actually shows how patients were able to improve fitness and had better responses to a We Fit balance game with the use of physical therapy. So physical therapy really is an important adjunct to your lymphedema therapy because there are very particular physical therapy strategies that a therapist can teach you in order to help improve your balance, improve the way you respond to bumps and outside stimuli when you're both at home and when you're out and about. Our goal is always to keep you as safe as possible while we're managing your lymphedema long term.